ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, a new Barbie doll's been unveiled honouring British conservationist Dr. Jane Goodall. But first,
a historic moment for science and technology, for astronomy and space exploration, for America and all of humanity.
What's been described as the first, deepest and sharpest infrared picture of the distant universe to date has been unveiled by President Joe Biden with NASA at the White House.
Light where stars were born and from where they die. Light from the oldest galaxies, the oldest documented light in the history of the universe.
Images from the James Webb Space Telescope are the first in colour and allow astronomers to peer back to the earliest images of time itself, nearly 14 billion years old. The first image released by NASA includes the galaxy cluster SMACS 0723, which is the furthest anyone has seen in time or distance.
And it shows what we can achieve, what more we can discover, not just about distant places, but about our very own planet and climate, like NASA's Earth Systems Observatory.
NASA, the European Space Agency and Canadian Space Agency will release the entire series of Webb's first full-colour images on Tuesday. Next, a group of hackers who claim to have been behind a cyber attack on a major Iranian steelmaker a fortnight ago have released a video apparently showing CCTV of the incident. The group calls itself Predatory Sparrow and released a video that the group says backs up its version of events. Footage includes factory workers leaving the plant and also images of machinery erupting with fire and molten steel. As usual with Iran cyber attacks, the finger's been pointed at Israeli-sponsored hacktivists as the states are in a cyber war. But the Israeli government has long had an ambiguity policy that could mask any involvement. The online safety bill is set to pass through the House of Commons as the report stage of the legislation begins. The British NSPCC charity says it wants MPs and government to prioritise the landmark legislation and adopt amendments that will improve its response to child sexual abuse.
What we're asking of government is to make sure that, one, they pass the bill, but two, make sure they strengthen it in a number of different areas so that they tackle the way that grooming really operates in the UK and make sure that matches on to the problem.
That's NSPCC Policy and Regulatory Manager Richard Collard. It comes as research released by the NSPCC last week revealed a wave of online child abuse. Grooming crimes rose by 84% in 4 years, with 4 out of 5 cases involving girls. So what should parents also look out for to help keep youngsters safe?
Make sure they're still having conversations with their children, just like they would, about the offline world. Make sure they understand who their children are talking to, what their children are doing, what games they're playing, what sites they're using, and having a real open conversations that a child is more likely to talk to the parent about any issues that might be occurring, any sort of harms that might be occurring online.
The BPI, which represents record labels, says a High Court ruling blocking pirate music sites and apps for fixed-line broadband networks is being extended to users of mobile networks. The BPI has already secured multiple High Court judgments and orders against the UK's 4 biggest broadband providers, the BT Group, Sky, TalkTalk and Virgin Media, blocking over 70 illegal sites and apps and thousands of related sites infringing music copyrights, and it's estimated that online piracy costs the record industry £200 million a year. The manufacturers of Barbie have unveiled a new doll honouring the British conservationist Dr. Jane Goodall.
When I first saw the Barbie doll, I loved the binoculars and the little notebook and David Greybeard.
Dr. Goodall is a renowned primatologist and widely considered the world's foremost expert on chimpanzees.
When I was growing up, there weren't any female role models, but my heroes were Tarzan and Dr. Dolittle, and there weren't women doing the kind of things I wanted to do.
Other dolls in the series include author and activist Dr. Maya Angelou, former tennis star Billie Jean King, and former First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt. The journal Nature reports computer scientists have created a program to discover more about how infants learn by using simple physical rules about how objects behave. Google's DeepMind in London has trained a neural network to spot patterns in 30 hours worth of animated videos of cubes and balls. And the software's called Physics, Learning Through Auto-Encoding and Tracking Objects, or Plato. Let's go to the ads. Stay there for more news from the world of tech and science. Plus, how do you treat a big cat with a big earache? Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. The organisers of Britain's biggest ever survey of household plastic waste have called for immediate action to tackle what they say are jaw-dropping findings. The big plastic count was run across a week in May, and its results showed that the average participating household sent 66 pieces of plastic for recycling in a week. Now, the activists say their findings show that recycling on its own is not enough to solve the world's plastic waste crisis, and more needs to be done to reduce plastic manufacturing in the first place, further up the supply chain. Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg announced on Monday that reactions on WhatsApp will now expand to include a full emoji keyboard. Currently, there are only a few on offer, such as heart, thumb, and shocked face. There's no date yet for the update, but it will be rolled out to iOS and Android users. And finally, it sounds like a knock-knock joke, but how did vets at London Zoo treat a big cat suffering from earache? Using a CAT scan, of course. Vets treating 12-year-old Asiatic lion Banu used the scanner to investigate his troublesome left ear canal. It followed repeated attempts to resolve the issue, including specialist ear examinations, cleaning under general anaesthetic, as well as regular eardrops. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for The Leader, where we bring you the latest news, interviews and analysis from the Evening Standard here in London, and we'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.